Hey, Hallie, do you want to talk about how we managed to get the rights
sure.
to this beautiful song?
Sure. We were looking for a song, and my bestie is a spectacular woman named Lauren Savoy, whose husband is Paul Wakhtar Savoy, who is a member of the band Aha. And so I reached out and said, would it be possible to get this dope-ass song in the game? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. That's amazing. That's great. So it was just a lucky happenstance that we were able to pull it off. And it's great because now like two of my favorite things are combined forever.
It's also cool how these things are such collaborations where that's obviously Ashley singing, but that's Ashley's friend Chris playing guitar, and we mocapped his hands and then transposed that onto Ellie's body.
I loved this game mechanic. So fun.
This is my favorite missable moment in the whole game. The fact that this is optional, I think.
Remember how much we talked about the fact, because like so many people love this, and we're like, and then there were people on the team that argue that you should not be able to miss this, but it makes it more special knowing that you might have missed it.
You gotta earn me staring at you for several minutes.
Such a good cover too. I mean, I wouldn't say it to Ashley's face, don't look over here, but like, it's pretty solid.
Needless to say, I'm odds and ends.
When I see Dina's looks over here, my interpretation is that she's remember all the times that she was falling in love for Ellie in the past when she was with Jesse. Because they're talking about this has happened before, and she played this song. And the other character moment that's interesting here is like the song she originally played here when she picks up the guitar is Future Days, is what Joel teaches her. And as soon as Dina walks through the door, she stops playing that song because she doesn't want to talk about that.
This is actually, I think, canonically the first time you will have seen Ellie successfully play guitar since the opening scene where Joel says he's going to teach her.
Yeah.
So this is the first moment that we realize like that he really did teach her. So it also represents not just like her relationship with Dina, but...
Oh, you're right. It's every time she's picking up a guitar, there's a connection to Joel. Every single time. And we were like, when we were making this, we kept talking about what are different ways we could remind you of Joel, because he's not there.
Make him a ghost.
But he's present. There were versions where we talked about having like Ghost Joel like talk to Ellie, and it just felt a little too campy for this story.
I wanted to. Me too.
All right. We should keep moving.
Yeah.
Oh, the Tommy torture scene. So we got to see Joel do this scene in the first game of interrogating two people. And now we get to see like the aftermath of having this interrogation done by Tommy. Just shows you what he's capable of.
Tommy did this.
And then later we get to see Ellie try to do this.
No way.
Right, and at this point for Dina, she doesn't really know about Tommy's past. She doesn't know that she doesn't have the privileged information that Tommy used to be as bad as Joel. And she's just really sort of seeing that for the first time.
Because she knows like the reformed Tommy that lives in Jackson, that helps everybody.
Shit.
Right.
There's another one over here.
Yeah, I remember we iterated a lot on the lighting of this room and trying to give it the right vibe, that it wasn't too bright or too dark.
recognize him.
That's really important. I don't recognize him. That shows Tommy killed someone that wasn't involved in Joel's death. That there's already starting to be this cost of whether this person is innocent or not. Is who knows.
No, he wasn't. He asks this guy a question, but you don't make him say it. You make him write it down. And then you ask this
This
guy.
is the worst board game ever.
Telling the truth.
One of the things that really like rocks me about some of these scenes is also just how comfortable they are around death all the time.
Yeah.
It implies her understanding this kind of anger and grief as well, that like Ellie really is not okay and she's losing because other people are going through this
Right.
all the time. And so like it's those little things like that that really like moved me when I was actually playing the game. I was like, God, this is fucked up. Like
And right around this area is where we have Dina mention her sister and how she was never able to avenge whatever happened to her sister. So she has this unfulfilled thing, and she knows how traumatic that can be, and she doesn't want that for Ellie. So this is the first contact with the people that killed Joel.
He's great.
Yeah.
Chase Austin is great.
And fun fact, Chase played young Sam Drake in Uncharted 4.
How'd you find us?
So ballsy.
Big scar across his face.
It's funny. How many came with you? Just you two?
I think that's what Ellie really believes, that no matter what, they're gonna get what's due. Like there's like some cosmic karma thing going on.
Supposed to be out looking for the other.
I feel like she has to.
Or she's just bullshitting him to make him believe that there's more people coming.
Killed out in Jackson?
Yeah.
This girl was there.
So that guy is being played by Ruben Langdon, who played James in part 1. His face, though, is the scan of Mike Hatfield, our lead foreground artist.
Kill all trespassers.
Hold on. That doesn't make any sense.
Direct order, man.
No, let's talk to her. Let's figure out what she
I
knows.
don't give a fuck what she knows. You saw what she did to the others?
You have no
Deep
idea.
in the
how many
background,
people
Dina.
she might be with. This might be an
I don't
ambush,
care
Mike.
how many people she's with. We will find them. We will kill them.
Can you just think for yourself for a quick
Jordan, get
second
the
right
fuck
now?
out of
Can
my
you-
way.
Jesus. Come here.
this is the first time Dina realizes that she's like really not okay. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I love because
It's the hints of the obsession. Of
Yeah.
like she's losing herself to this chase instead of what's actually happening right now.
And really, really to their detriment.
And it was important when we were writing this scene to have the death be relatively quick. And then you can't even linger and think about it. And again, this just kind of push forward of like, maybe the next one will be more satisfying. Or maybe the one after that will be more satisfying.
I don't fucking know. Come on. Fuck, Ellie. Go around.
The first kind of like draft we have of all Seattle is Sucker Punch games made
coast looks clear.
Infamous Second
Yes.
Son, which takes place in Seattle. So they gave us a 3D model of all of Seattle as a
Wow.
starting point. And then we just spend a lot of time just like mapping out the entire story and where like Ellie and Abby go So we have this very intricate map of all the location, and based off of that, we said, okay, now we need a map that they could point to in the cinematic to get us to the TV station as the next location.
I remember one of my first meetings, or one of my early meetings at Naughty Dog, was with M, and who's a lead designer at Naughty Dog, and she had spent a lot of time figuring out how Seattle would be flooded in the future. So a lot of the actual flooding you see is semi-accurate to how it would happen if there was that much water happening.
M was the one that pitched Seattle initially.
Oh, really?
Because she felt that it had the most kind of unique locations that we could move through and had a lot of verticality within the city.
Let's go get Leah. Hey, look.
This is the
Tummies.
foreshadowing pregnant scene.
This is my least favorite part of my performance. I'm not kidding. Nauseous performance. It really, every time I see it, I'm just like, it's not good.
Is that your Achilles heel?
Oh, there's a lot. Hiding behind walls and, no.
You could hear
No.
the puke splashing on the
I
ground.
did hear that. They helped me there.
And that, again, it's another one of those things where, like, the audio department let me listen to, like, several versions of puke hitting the ground and picking one.
Ew. I always feel like whenever I have to act like I'm throwing up, I always start dry heaving. Because once you get that, then you're like,
Like a cat with a fur ball.
yeah.
Here's my big moment.
This is your big performance.
Here she is.
Do you say that because that body's much taller than Hallie?
Everything is.
For those people listening, Hallie's a tiny, tiny, tiny little person.
I'm
Such
really portable.
tinies.
Yeah, these
that's the
scenes
best
these
part.
scenes are really hard to write, because again, we're trying to make it a character moment, but give you enough information to go forward in the clue chain towards finding who you need.
And giving you, new information so it doesn't feel repetitive, right? We're opening up the world progressively with each sort of expository beat as well.
There's this really nice beat at the end here where, like, Dina calms Ellie down and takes the pictures from her.
It's all of them.
It's really nuanced here what you're doing, Ashley, but there's just this, like, anger that's starting to bubble up as you look at this stuff and, like, look at their fucking smiles. There it is.
Just looking so happy.
There she is.
That's her. Laura Bailey. That's the one who killed him.
And that's the Last of Us 2 theme, which is like a reverse version of the Last of Us 1 theme that Gustavo created for this.
Hey there, Tiger.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can see
Tiger.
it. How you, it's, yeah.
Support Unit India en route to the TV station. Repeat, support
Shit.
Unit India en route.
Yeah, we should
Over.
get going.
Is that you, Hallie? That voice?
I was just wondering that myself. I'm
Because
like,
it is
that
you
kinda
later. I think that
sounds-
might have been
sounds
you.
like- yeah.
Oh,
Here.
this is
Yeah, this
the
is the
mask
scene.
break.
I remember just fighting. I was like, I just have to make sure her hands never touch the mask.
I remember talking to you about this, Neil. Like you were like, it's like she's committing suicide in front of you. Is like what it is.
Oh,
like,
yeah. 'Cause
you
as
know.
far as you know, she is.
Yeah, and so that's where that reaction came from. Was he was like, she's killing herself in front of you. Is what it looks like to you.
And there it is. The I'm immune, I'm pregnant scene.
Got it.
Yeah, it's just this is where the obsession. I think this is the first time it's really getting in between them. That there's now personal conflict starting to form.
Yeah, there's a real standoff towards the end of this scene too.
Hallie, do you remember this was your first week at Naughty Dog, and we had an outline. Some of the major beats were there, and you had the idea of like, what if we made Dina pregnant?
Yeah, because we were I think it was on my first day, and the problem we were trying to solve was we want these two girls to go to Seattle together. We want to have Ellie to have this conduit to talk about her feelings and maybe this thing to pull her back. But how do we how can we narratively hold Dina back so that Ellie can do a bunch of these missions alone? Because so much of this is about the singularity of the obsession and the loneliness of that and how hard it is to be alone in this world. And I just threw it out there. Let's knock her up.
It's interesting too with if you think about the first game, over the course of the journey with Joel and Ellie, is they slowly open up more to each other and reveal more of their secrets. And these characters are kind of doing the same thing. They're both holding back on secrets. So even though it's a very angry scene, they're revealing everything to each other. You were telling the truth.
Maria and Tommy
Yeah, bitch.
and Joel are the only ones who know.
I'll just speak the subtext for all these scenes.
Please do.
Knew.
I found this scene really hard because it was one of the. I mean, we literally. You have two very like big reveals or reactions that could have been like really soapy if I did it wrong. You know, it's like the I'm pregnant and also like the chemical burn. You know, like that. That's really tough.
It's
and,
like because I remember we talked a lot about that, which is you just thought your friend was going to die in front of you. You thought you
yeah.
might have to shoot them
Yeah,
in
it
front of you.
really opens with
so
her
you
being
have this
like, "I'm gonna be
moment of
alone,"
like
yeah.
sadness, relief, and also, by the way, I'm pregnant.
A lot of
Yeah.
the times when Ellie's in severe conflict, she like one of the things that I find very relatable is like suddenly she loses eye contact. Like it just goes inward. Everything just goes into this inward rage that is so nuanced, and I don't know how you could really pull this off in a game a decade ago maybe, because there's so much beautiful facial that you do that they're able to capture.
Yeah, I feel like I talk about this all the time. Like
What are we
this
supposed to do now?
game, I don't think would have had the impact or any of that without. I mean, there's so many people that make
long
up
have you known?
the performance that you end up seeing and playing.
Was late a few weeks
And
ago.
I feel like
We could've-
you can give it your all, but if you don't
we could've
have
still turned back.
the
I
right
didn't
people that are
know.
sitting there for, I don't know
wasn't
how,
sure.
I mean, years
Well,
and years.
Well, you're a burden now, aren't you?
It's sculptors,
Yeah.
it's animators, it's lighting artists. Even if you don't get the right lighting, the performance doesn't come through.
Right.
And all that stuff just takes a lot of effort and iteration, like so much iteration to get it right, and to try to that moment we felt on the stage to draw it out in a CG character is a lot of work.
So much work to really nail the anxious avoidant attachment style. It's gorgeous. It's like we all understand, you know?
The way she handled it, it's like almost like a religious artifact or something. That there's like it's like a medium.
Such
It's like
a-
a connection to Joel.
Yeah.
Well, it is, right? Because we tie it to every flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that the attachment to Joel is through music. It's funny, over the course of shooting this, how long did it take to shoot? Just
Like 3 years.
yeah, 3 years.
Well, actually, we shot the trailer where you play guitar before we even made Uncharted 4. Because we had started working on this game, and then the game went on pause for 2 years before we picked it back up. Hey, look, Ellie's learning.
Hey.
One of the things I really appreciate about your performance, Ashley, is how you're able to so seamlessly jump between these different ages and different levels of innocence that this character has.
Thanks.
Just need to build up your callus.
I also now watch this. I'm like, that guitar is so expensive. Why are you just leaving it right there?
Leaving it out there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I wanted to show how, like, how did Ellie learn how to swim? Because that was such a big plot point in the first game.
You should see
Yep.
your face right now.
It's just nice to see things were okay for a while between these two.
Yeah, keep
I remember
level,
feeling,
man.
this is a good thing to be back into. Like we're jumping into summer. We're jumping into, like you said, when things were good.
This is a culmination of so many things, right? So for this moment of just Ellie's love of space, of Joel wanting to make this like moment just beautiful for her Walkman. And this idea that Ellie sometimes has such a strong imagination and can go into her own head.
Wow.
Actually started with the comic book, the American Dreams comic book. So when she looked at the Raj's arcade, she was able to picture it with like children running around. It's like the idea that she's so in love with the old world that she does whatever she can to kind of live in it.
Happy birthday, kiddo.
And that's we got the idea to really go in her head and make you feel as if she's traveling to space.
Take it.
There is such a unique nervousness, anticipation, and joy that comes with a parent trying to give their kid the perfect gift.
Right. And if they like it, it's the best feeling in the world.
And if they don't, it's terrible.
It'll be worth it.
Close your eyes.
And for people familiar with the first game, the DLC of Left Behind, there's a big parallel here for when Riley tells Ellie, close your eyes. And she makes her picture this arcade game. And it's like as if these two people just know Ellie so well of what would make the perfect gift for her.
15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4.
And again, our lighting team did such an awesome, because there's so much that needs to be conveyed here with just lighting. And so they're animating these lights and then changing the reflection on the glass. There's a lot of tech here, a lot of careful crafting to get this moment.
I also love that we're just with Ellie in this moment, you know?
It's like you just need Gustavo to do this little riff.
That's it.
And it takes it over the top.
Oh,
This-
the scene is so beautiful but so sad to me. Just because I know what's coming. And just seeing Joel trying so hard to reconnect and regrow this relationship with Ellie again. You can see his guilt. You can feel at least shame. It's like, but yeah, I watch it and I think it's such a beautiful scene, but there's that level underneath it that's heartbreaking to me.
It was really important for us to have these happy memories that are obviously mixed with like some negative feelings she has about Joel and the choices that he's made. But ultimately, I believe the positive, the happy memories overwhelm the negative.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I think Ellie is so driven by her own shame and guilt, and you need to know why. And it's because there was something worth saving. There was a true loss here. And part of that is her own decision to emotionally protect herself by distancing herself from Joel. But it had a cost.
And no matter how happy a sequence we have, it's just this lie and this choice that Joel made is hanging over these characters. As a reminder for Ellie is like, you can't fully let this thing go. Awkward.
Let's get a move on.
I really don't want to talk about this right now.
It's always so exciting to see because obviously when we're shooting this, we're on a soundstage and I picture us being there, but it's always so much better when I finally see it in the game. It's always such a better version of it than I had in my mind.